In today's video, we're going to be talking about a question so many people secretly ask. How do you make a narcissist see what they've done and then actually feel ashamed? If you've been hurt, betrayed, gaslit, discarded, of course, you want them to feel it. Of course, you want them to finally say, I was wrong, I hurt you, and I see you and I see it now. What you want is closure. You want acknowledgement. You want validation. You want the pain that they caused you to be recognized. But here is the difficult truth. Narcissists do not experience shame the way healthy people do. And if you do not understand this difference, you will exhaust yourself trying. Healthy shame will sound like this. I did something wrong. It leads to reflection, it leads to empathy, and it can usually lead to repair. Whereas there is a huge difference when it comes to narcissistic shame, because this says, I am exposed, I am threatened, I am losing control of how I am being perceived. And now it is very important that the differences here is something you understand. Because when you confront them emotionally, when you explain your pain, when you list what they did, their brain does not move towards accountability. It moves towards defense because their nervous system interprets your truth as danger. So denial, blame shifting, projection, minimizing the pain they caused and the chaos in your life. These are not random behaviors. They are protection mechanisms of narcissistic people. Shame for a narcissist threatens their identity, and their identity must stay intact at all costs. If they admit fault, even internally, it cracks the image they work so hard to maintain. So instead of feeling remorse, they feel exposed, and exposure feels intolerable. So if trying to force shame does not work, then in this case, what does? First, you stop arguing your case. The more you try to make them understand, the more they feel attacked. And when they feel attacked, they armor up. So your emotional intensity does not soften them. It actually puts them on guard and it hardens them. Secondly, you remove emotional performance. So that means no more dramatic explanations. You don't owe me. No more emotional reactions designed to make them see. They don't deserve that from you. No more trying to get them to validate your experience. Calm detachment creates more internal discomfort than emotional pleading ever will. Why? Because emotional reactions feed their sense of control. When you go neutral, when you stop performing pain for them, something shifts. They can no longer use your emotions to regulate themselves. So they become very unregulated. The third thing is you withdraw access. Narcissists often only begin to reflect when they lose control of the narrative fully. When they realize they cannot provoke you, cannot access you, and can no longer manipulate you, which is exactly what they've been doing, they cannot regain the same emotional hold. Loss of control creates cracks, and cracks are where discomfort for a narcissist lies. Fourth thing is you let consequences speak. Narcissists rarely respond to words. They respond to outcomes. When you leave, when you go no contact, when you start to move forward without them, when you stop protecting their reputation like you've been doing all this time, when you stop covering for them with friends, with family, reality becomes harder to avoid. Now, here is something important. Will they sit alone and cry with guilt? Maybe not. But narcissistic shame often shows up as anger. irritation, or sudden attempts to hoover you back in. Because underneath that reaction is ego injury. Ego injury is the closest thing they experience to shame. It is the moment where their self-image is threatened. They may lash out, they may smear you, and they probably will, to your friends, family, maybe even your parents. They may act indifferent. But indifference is often a mask. What unsettles a narcissist most is not your anger, it's your indifference.